Hey, what's up, coaches? Today we're going to go ahead and continue to dive into our multiple wing tee offense. We're going to focus today on our Bucksweep series, more or less our Bucksweep, and then also the tweaks and adjustments that we have in our terms of our concepts that help us be better at running our sweep series. And so what I want to do is dive into that today. I'm going to talk through some of our blocking rules real fast. I don't want to spend a lot of time. You'll be able to look at them on here. Plus, you'll have access to them with our playbook. And then the other thing is just some of the adjustments that we make. So, and how we block it. So, hey, let's dive in and let's talk about our multiple wing tee offense, Bucksweep concepts and answers. As you can see, if you need to reach me, my email is there, is rtdbvideo@gmail.com, as well as through Twitter. I really have not done much with Instagram, to be quite honest with you. And then if you're here, you've already been aware of our eCoach in on YouTube. So let's dive in real quick and let's start looking at our concepts and what we do. Okay, we're coming back to this, the knockoff technique. And we talked about it before, the step that your wingback has to take. And so what we're looking at, let's look over here on the left, and we're running it to the weak side. So the wingback is lined up on with a tackle instead of a tight end. And so you have a 4 technique, okay? What we want to do is take your tackle, and he wants to take his outside arm, and he wants to come and he wants to rip through the inside thigh of that defensive end. And so what we're trying to do is make him, quote unquote, we call it a one-legged defender. And as he's hooked up, that allows the halfback to get on the hip of that defensive end and crush that edge, which is what we want to have. We are very physical on the edge. If we're not physical, we're not doing a good job with the buck sweep. Okay, if you look to the right, it's to a tight end and wing back. It's the same thing. In this case, we have a 7 technique. And so he's going to rip through the inside leg of that defensive end, try to make him a one-legged defender, and that gives that halfback an opportunity to really crush the edge and get on the hip. And if you want, you can go online on our channel and type in knockoff, and you'll see some really sick knockoffs from our wingback and our tight ends as well. Now, some of you guys are going to get into a situation where you have a 9 technique and your wingback is just not going to play it. He's not going to get it done. And I hate to say that, but what I've learned is this. Some teams are going to put their dog right there at 9 technique. They may take their best player and they're going to put him on that tight end and put him in a 9 technique and make you have to block him. They're going to say, you can't run the buck sweep. Now, we have some adjustments to that. We have our slide so we can slide away from that guy. And then also we can make an adjustment with our formation. And then later I'll show you an adjustment that we make with a play. So if I have a 9 technique and I know my wingback can't get him, we'll give a nasty look that you can see over there on the right. And now I put my tight end on him. Now, this isn't a great yardage pickup, but what I want to do is I want to focus in on this right here. This is what we call our buffalo package. And what you're going to do is see a knockoff between the tackle and the wingback. Okay, so this guy right here, this guy right here, and on that guy right there. So this guy should try to rip through, work vertical, and get on that guy's leg and get on the linebacker, which allows him to engage that hip of that defensive end. This isn't a great one, but it's a great view. He's a little high, which I don't like. That tackle should be ripping through. He should be low. And you have a 150-pound running back on that 250-pound defensive end. All right, well, today we're freezing up a little bit, guys. Sorry. Boom. All right, and you can see that's where he is. Not that everything else worked well, but this is a great shot. Okay. Again, the tackle's probably going to come off a little high. This guy right here, okay, the tackle, my tackle, and my little 150-pound wingback against this guy who's now a starting offensive lineman at the University of Michigan. He spent 4 years in Stanford. He's 320 pounds versus my 150-pound running back. After a few plays in this series, he literally starts tapping his helmet and he's asking to get out of the game. But take a look at the ride that they put on this guy. Okay, maybe not. Let's try it from this angle. Boom, boom. Okay. Move. Crush. The other piece is teaching your halfbacks tracks and where to hit. And this guy's probably 155 against number 55. And he's going to take his angle. He's going to get his shoulder pad into the hip area and just watch what this one guy does. Boom. Okay. And he's just going to stay on him and keep riding him. '55 has gotten tired of getting hammered. And so what does he do? Now, let's take a look at the alignment here. He's going to be inside shade. Okay. And so what we're hoping for is a down block or possible knockoff. Okay, down block or possible knockoff. But this guy gets tired and he decides, hey, I'm going to go ahead and fix this for everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and take out the wingback for you. Didn't really help any. And we're able to get in the end zone. But that's what happens. They start getting tired of getting hammered, so they're going to go ahead and come up with a cheap way of playing you. This happens to be what we no, this isn't our base package, but yes, this is Buffalo. All right, it's Buffalo, and it is Bucksweep. Watch the guy. Watch my wingback on this joker's hip. So the year before, we chose not to run knockoffs, and we said they were playing a 7 technique, and we said we're going to go ahead and block the 7 technique, and we're going to release to the second level. And it was good. We were blocking the guy. The problem is that it leaves a little bit of gap. Unless you crush it, you're leaving a little bit of gap in that C gap. Okay. And it allows linebackers to shoot through. Because he's able to shoot through and maybe your guards don't get to him. Now this plugs that C gap because I'm getting that tight end's face inside in that gap. See, he's closing it off because his head's inside. And watch this wing back get a hold of him. Boom. Okay. Should be a tighter view from the end zone. So, all right, again, watch. He's a 7 technique. He's going to try to take off and get up to the next level, which allows him to get on the hip. Should be another good example of a knockoff on the weak side. The weak side. Actually, that's not even a knockoff because of the way the defense is aligned. You got to get a down look. Okay, so they've got you by a number here. Tackle's got to block down on a 3, and the wingback's got to block down on that 5. And then we're going to have to kick that next guy for what I'm seeing here. All right, it should be Bucksweep. This is out of our Beast package. It's a little different. We called it Beast because everybody up here, if you got good enough linemen, everybody right here is a lineman. Okay, I've got an offensive tackle at tight end, and I got my tight end at wingback. So you got 6'5", 240. You've got 250. You got 270. And then we get a little smaller at my guards who are about 215 and 215, a 235 center, and a 235 tackle. Now, the one thing I want you to be aware of and check is you need to understand one of the things we try to teach our halfbacks is to get to the edge, kind of pump your feet a little bit. Doesn't mean you're not moving forward. And then you're going to break where that backside guard turns up. We teach them to get their eyeballs inside and look for the cutback. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It really drives me crazy when running backs just want to keep getting wide. So we want to get them in the hole and get vertical. And this cat right here probably weighed 150 pounds. And you'll see some plays that he makes that are just extraordinary. I rarely don't fuss when a kid jumps outside, but this gives you an idea that the kid is capable of hitting his foot, getting in there, and getting vertical. He doesn't even have to go cut back because the lane's right there. So don't feather it. Get in there. Here's a great look from the end zone. We get down. All right, this is what I was talking about. If you'll watch this guy. Let me see. It looks better from this shot here if I can get it to run. Here we go. All right, so we've got Buck coming down this way. This is our Beast package, and this team likes to spin, and it is the most frustrating thing because you practice it for one team a year, and this team does a really good job of it. But watch the back. Again, get in the hole, get vertical, and then he's able to put his foot in the ground, and he bounces outside. Just tremendous vision and footwork. Here's another great example of him. Okay. Beast package, down. Get in the hole, boom. And he just is able to get outside so fast. Big plays that night for us. Okay. Probably helps if I hit the next button. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but we were having problems this game blocking a 9 technique. I mean, we were just getting killed. And so we came in at halftime and made a few adjustments with how we were running things. And what ended up happening is we started swapping to unbalanced. This was before we knew how to do some of the other stuff. And then we did a wing outside. It's almost the same as doing nasty, except now you bring in an extra body. And so what ended up happening is we were able to get into this. This is our unbalanced with a wing outside. Sometimes you can do it with a nasty. And this was a big deal for us versus a 9 technique. Now the tight end is blocking down on that 9 technique who's crashing inside instead of the wing back. Because when the wing back was doing it, he was getting in there and he was getting to our guards. So that was another little adjustment for us on handling a 9 technique. You have to be able to make the adjustment. If you don't, or at least have those adjustments when a 9 tech is there. Again, boom. Okay. Now have a tight end blocking down instead of a wing back.